distinguished chief guests, honorable dignitaries, respected staff members, and students, a very good afternoon. We are delighted to welcome you to the joint celebration of National Science Day on the theme Integrated Approach in Science and Technology for a Sustainable Future by the institution's Innovation Council and UG Department of Computer Applications.
It is our honor to introduce and welcome the guests at the dais. Our honorable resource person for today, Dr. Emeka Akizuma, Vice Chancellor of the International University of East Africa. A very warm afternoon, sir. Our department coordinator, Dr. J.G.R. Satyasivan, sir. Pleasant afternoon, sir. Professor Dr. Iic-Bca, sir. Good afternoon, sir. And also, we welcome each and everyone present here with us today.
A day without prayer, a day without blessing. And the life without prayer is a life without power. For a moment of prayer, I call upon the department's choir team for the prayer song. May we all rise for the prayer.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul. I worship Your holy name. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawn. It's time to sing the song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before, let me be singing at the evening dawn. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul. I worship Your holy name. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul. Worship Your holy name. I worship Your holy name. I worship Your holy name.
Kindly please be seated.
Thank you, Dee. Ladies and gentlemen, before getting started, allow us to read the main agendas of today's event. We will begin by felicitating our honorable chief guest, followed by the core of this event, the keynote speech, and presentation by our respected chief guest, Dr. Emeka Akizuma. And to close the event, we are going to announce the winners of the various competitions held on the 15th of February in honor of the National Science Day.
Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is a progress. Working together is success. Honorable guests, staff members, and students, I would like to invite Dr. Iic-Bca, sir, Associate Professor, Department of BCA, to deliver the welcome address.
Very good afternoon. Greetings to everyone. I am Dr. Iic-Bca, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Applications. And I am pleased to stand before you to welcome each and everyone here, both online and offline. So, at the outset, I welcome our resource person for today, Dr. Emeka Akizuma, Honorable Vice Chancellor of International University of East Africa. On behalf of the college, IIC, and my department, I welcome you, sir. And I am pleased to welcome our coordinator, Dean of Staff and Student Welfare, Dr. Iic-Bca sir, who plays many other roles, many other responsibilities in our college. I welcome, sir. I am pleased to welcome all the teaching and non-teaching members of my department, other departments, and the students who are here and in the online. So I welcome you one and all. Thank you.
Sir, for the warm welcome. Felicitation is inspiration to others and motivation to whom you are felicitating. To felicitate the honorable guests and the gathered, I invite Dr. Iic-Bca sir to the stage.
Esteemed chief guest, as well as the resource person for today's very important event, or I would say yet another event organized by the Department of BCA, Professor Emeka Akizuma. We are glad to see you, sir, today. We welcome you on behalf of Department of Computer Applications. Happy to have you in our midst. We are eager to listen to your speech also today. At the outset, I would like to welcome and greet all the faculty members who are gathered here from the Department of BCA, especially Dr. Kutralam, who is sharing the dais with me, the faculty members who are seated in the first row, Dr. Madhu, Professor Lino Fatima, and other members who are here. I'm very happy today to be invited to give a very brief note of address. It was a great pleasure for me to know that there are various events conducted by the Department of BCA. It is otherwise called competitions. 3 competitions were conducted: debate, essay writing, and poster making. When I was considering these 3 events, I was really thrilled by the way these events were organized, because debate involves oral communication. Essay writing demands writing, and poster making involves altogether. So the debate here involves your oral communication. You know why? Nowadays, every sector is expecting the individuals to speak with much confidence, with a lot of understanding in what you speak. So, debate will help you to develop your communication skills. Coming to the second one, essay writing involves your writing skills, how you present what you studied, what you received as an input, how you deliver, that also matters. The third one is the poster making, that involves creativity or innovation. That is where we come to this, joint venture with the Institution Innovation Cell as well as the Department of BCA. I'm also very happy to see the enthusiasm in the Department of BCA for making such arrangements. At the outset, once again, I would like to congratulate a very important or eminent person who is waiting to give the speech. Dear students, when I look at you people, all these days we were attending all the events, whether it is ordinary classes or special occasions like this. You people were invited to attend only through online, but now you people are here in the gallery. It's nice to see you all in a very colorful manner, very happy. It gives a confidence to take up any challenge. As I already mentioned, 3 competitions involve 3 different areas of your competency. Definitely, this will give you more confidence in what you do. Once you start doing things like this, you can face any forum like this. Let me once again congratulate the Department of BCA for arranging this very special event. Being the National Science Day, I was thinking about the computer applications. Science, we mean the core sciences like physics, chemistry, mathematics, and so on, botany, zoology. Okay, but computer science is not the basic science, it comes under applied science. What does it mean? Because we are combining both physics and mathematics. When we talk about mathematics, it gives us the principles of various applications. And once we talk about physics, that involves the physical components of computers. One we can see, one we cannot see. Physics you can see, mathematics you cannot see. Physics is visible, maths is invisible. I would say physics is a hardware, whereas mathematics is software. By combining these two together, we can form a new hybrid form of course, that is computer science or computer application, whatever it is, right? So computer can evolve based on these 2 fundamental core sciences. So today, we also come to play with other science people to show our talents, to exhibit our skills, to shine in the science forum. With these few words, let me congratulate once again all the members who are here, gathered here, along with the faculty members. I once again greet all of you, all the very best. God bless you.
Thank you, sir, for the heartwarming presentation. Your words are very powerful because they have the power to either inspire growth or to cause destruction. And the resource person of the day, Dr. Emeka Akizuma, is one such person of extreme knowledge and wisdom who has inspired many young minds to grow in many ways that seemed impossible. Dr. Iic-Bca Akizuma is the Vice Chancellor of the International University of East Africa, Uganda. His ideas on Pan-Africanism are unmatched. Dr. Iic-Bca's thought leadership has seen IUEA soar to great heights. Dr. Akizuma was the Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology at the same university and was a visiting scholar at Paul Robeson Center at Richards University, New Jersey, USA. He was a recipient of the 2013 New Jersey Governor Jefferson Award for Outstanding Community Service and was inducted into the Rutgers University African American Hall of Fame. Dr. Akizuma earned his PhD in Information Systems and Structures at Rutgers University, USA. He's currently working on 3 major technical innovations: the 4 skills model for developing innovative and sustainable technological foundation in Africa, the SCT innovation method, a framework for rapidly developing national technical capabilities and on knowledge sets, a new big data analytics, approach to knowledge retrieval based on microtime. To add more honor and humbleness to his inventions, Dr. Akizuma has served as technology and academic consultant to many organizations in Africa, Asia, Europe, North America, and in South America. He has worked as curriculum consultant for Pearson UK, for the Canada Institute for Scientific and Technical Information in Ottawa, Ministry of Education, Brazil, for Universidad Autónoma de Mexico in Mexico, for Tsinghua Consortia in China, among others. Dr. Akizuma's invention, Search Over Software, has won numerous international awards for innovation. The software is included in the Computer Encyclopedia as a major contribution to software engineering. He received an award from the US Navy for developing the Torpedo Information Retrieval System. He also received an award from Dow Jones and Company, USA, for designing the world's largest business information retrieval system. In 2011, Dr. Akizuma was recognized by the Randfontein local municipality of South Africa for his work in education. Dr. Akizuma worked as Director of Digital Libraries at Elsevier, where he was involved in developing the world's largest science, technology, and medical online information retrieval system. In addition, he implemented the information retrieval systems used by Brazilian National Research System for Yale University, among others. On June 15, 2021, Dr. Akizuma gave a TED Talk on the future of innovation and education in Africa. He is a founding trustee of the Global Literacy Project, a USA nonprofit organization that fosters community-based literacy initiatives throughout the world. The Global Literacy Project has shipped over 2 million books to communities in Africa, Asia, and Caribbean. Sir, we are extremely humbled to have you with us today. By the end of the event, we all hope to be inspired and enlightened by your words of wisdom. Now let's roll out the red carpet to the guest of honor, Mr. Emeka Akizuma, Vice Chancellor of IUEA. The session is yours, sir.
Thank you very much. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Great. It is an honor to be with you today as you celebrate the National Science Day. And it is fitting that you celebrate it and that you celebrate yourselves, because of course a country is made of its citizens. And it is fitting that you celebrate it and you celebrate yourselves because India has achieved a lot in the areas of science and technology. As you will know, yes, it's okay, you can applaud for that, it's quite an achievement. And as you know, India has risen from the 81st position in 2015 to the 46th position in the world's Global Innovation Index. That is a high rise. And if you will permit me, I will read you India's achievements, which I am sure most of you know, but it is always good to repeat it so that you can see what you have done. In 2001, India developed a single fourth generation multi-role light fighter. In 2004, India developed a voting system that reduced both the time taken to vote and the time needed to declare the results. In 2006, BrahMos enters into service in the Indian Navy. It is the world's fastest anti-ship cruise missile in operation. In 2008, India launched its first unmanned mission to the moon, Chandrayaan-1. In 2009, India launched a nuclear submarine, INS Arihant. In 2013, India launched the Mars Orbiter mission, which was successfully launched, making India the first nation in Asia to reach the Martian orbit. And India did so in its maiden attempt. In 2014, India developed the D5 rocket. In 2017, India launched from the first launch pad of Satish Dhawan Space Center. And in 2017, the rocket carried a record-breaking total of 104 satellites. In 2018, ISRO made a path-breaking discovery inventing the atomic clock. The clock is useful in navigating satellites and measuring precise location data. In 2020, India's first hydrogen fuel cell prototype vehicle undergoes a successful trial. This vehicle was developed by the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research and KPIT. These are just some brief developments that India has made since 2001. It is an impressive record by any count. So from Africa, I will say well done. People here in Uganda say well done when you have done something very good. So well done to you. Now, these are some of the achievements that India has made, I would say, on the Indian subcontinent level. But India's technological impact is worldwide. From the CEO of Twitter, Parag Agrawal, who is an alumni of Indian Institute of Technology, to Shivani Nangdakar. I can't pronounce, I'm sorry, if I'm butchering the names, forgive me. I've tried, and the 22-year-old has been identified by Google. Now we also have the CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai. We also have IBM's Arvind Krishna and Palo Alto's Network's Nikesh Arora, all alumni of India's Institute of Technology. So these are just some little examples. I live in Kampala, and Kampala city has millions of motorcycles. And most of those motorcycles were developed in India. So these are the achievements, because as we celebrate National Science and Technology Day, we need to know what we are celebrating and why we are celebrating. So on one count, what we are celebrating, in my opinion, is India's technological achievements. Why we are celebrating is because it is important to do a self-reflection, to look at what you have done, where you have been, where you are, and where you would like to go. Of course, the India of 2022 is a far cry from the Indias of 1970. As you can see from the list of achievements that I started to read for you from 2001, India has run the gamut from fighter jets, nuclear weapons, to new fuel cells, renewable energy. And of course, there are those achievements that have happened in the areas of medicine. So as we celebrate, we know what we are celebrating, we know why we are celebrating it. And as part of that self-reflection, whether it's in science and technology or for the human reflection, we are thinking of where do we want to go next. And that is where the sustainable future idea comes in. So now we have seen what India has achieved. And in the opinion of thought leaders, including those leaders technology leaders who are in the diaspora in the US, why has India achieved so much? A lot of people will point to the excellent education system. Of course, nothing is perfect. So I am sure there are people in India who would think, what do you mean excellent education system? Our education system is not that great. But if you look at the output of Indian talent and what India has achieved, you will, on balance, say that the educational system is fantastic. India is well known for its Institute of Technologies, but it's equally known for a lot of universities that provide excellent technical and sociological education. So as part of India's growth, part of India's rise in the area of technology, of science, you cannot but point to the academic institutions. Because what is science? Science is the generation of new ideas. And science contributes to technology in a big way. Well, number one, it is new knowledge, which serves for new ideas in technology. It provides the tool, the design, the knowledge base for evaluation and our feasibility of designs. It provides the path by which technology can be created, because without the science, you cannot create the technology. So science allows us to make new observations about the world. It allows us to build more technical skills and technology. It gives us a proper way of thinking about our environment and about how to harness the physical energies around us, how to harness the physical forces in the world around us. And science and technology has undoubtedly made our lives easier. It has made our lives easier because of all the tools we use on a daily basis. I am sitting here in Kampala today and I'm talking to you in India. It is not by magic, it is by science. As Africans will say, that is witchcraft. But it is science. The ability to harness the waves, the ability to put that knowledge together into devices that will enable us to accomplish a lot of things. We have smartphones. We could call from one end of the planet to another on our cell phone and talk to our relatives. That is the benefit of technology. We have the internet, which makes a lot of things possible. Before the internet, the world was not wired. We had our specific villages. It was a real village. Today, we have that real village that provides us with cultural, social identity. And we also have the internet that gives us a global citizen identity and passport. So we can sit in India, we can sit in Kampala, we can sit anywhere and be able to connect and make business deals and provide medical help, provide social help. Today, our money is on the phone. It's in the cloud, not only in the banks. And people in the villages can receive money from anywhere. They do not have to go to the banks to go queue. Those who cannot open a bank account can still make financial transactions from their phones. In medicine, there is telemedicine, where, of course, that is the most advanced stage of technology yet, where a doctor in one continent can help another doctor on another continent to operate on a patient or to treat a patient. But we do have a lot of advanced medicines that helps us to cure a lot of ailments. So we have science in our everyday lives, and science is very useful to us in all that we do. Science and technology contributes to the rise of a nation. As we all know, we are in the information age. We left the industrial age behind, and we are moving the future, according to technologists, scientists, and probably philosophers, is what they call the fourth industrial revolution. So at any point in time, we are making progress, some more so than the others. And those who are able to make progress are those that have been able to master the science and technology of the day. In the earlier times, in the agrarian, or let's even start with the hunter-gatherers, those who survived the hunter-gatherer era, or those who thrived, were those who were able to identify the tracks of an animal and be able to find that animal and bring that animal for food. As societies progressed, we got to the agrarian age. And in the agrarian age, it was those who had the technology, the science and technology of the day, who were able to grow better food, more food, and were able to become rich nations or rich communities. And then the steam engine came in. We had the Industrial Revolution. And it was the countries that mastered the technology of the Industrial Revolution that prospered. Today, we are in the information age, information technology. And it is the countries that have mastered the science and the technology of the information age, computers, networks, the use of data, programming, critical thinking. Those are the countries that make progress. So technology contributes immensely to the development of a country today. And as the economic data shows, India is making tremendous progress because it has been able to master science and technology. Because of that, it has been able to train the excellent labor force that is needed to solve problems. Because at the end of the day, technology, science are all about problem solving. Of course, that probably is a very rosy way of looking at it, because you could also say science and technology is bad. It's a double-edged sword. Double-edged sword in the sense that it can be used for good or it can be used for evil. For good, you treat people. You provide economic upliftment to millions of people. The good, you could use it to create weapons of mass destruction. So it is that double-edged sword. But at the end of the day, there are more benefits to the ability to master science and technology. And countries that have mastered it make progress. And mastering technology is not an easy task. It requires dedication. It requires coordination from many sources. So it requires dedication because it is not an easy thing to do. You are all students of science and technology, so you know that you don't just go in with a problem and you have a scientific way of solving it and it is solved. You fail many times, but you must continue if you want to succeed. So it requires that kind of dedication. It also requires skills, methods. Science and technology is not a random act. It is not a spiritual thing. It is based on scientific principles, mathematics, physics. Those are some of the key pillars undergirding science and technology. It requires excellent academic institutions that have labs and well-trained people. So it means that science and technology requires capital investment. It requires capital investment because these things that I have mentioned do not come free. They take time. It takes 4 to 5 years to train somebody in a university. In some universities, it is 3, in some 4, in some 5. So there are costs involved in that. Now, science and technology today is also multidisciplinary in the sense that to create a solution to a problem, whether it's a personal problem or a national problem, requires technology that multiple skill sets that calls for multiple skill sets. So let's take your smartphone as an example. The smartphone is not built only by engineers. It has graphics designers who are going to look at the shape of the phone, the colors that the phone should have so that it will appeal to people. Of course, it has engineers, different types of engineers, those who will build the physical phone itself, those who will build the microprocessor that the phone will use. It has people with database skills and, of course, programming skills. So these are multidisciplinary skill sets that it takes to build a solution. So that is on one level. On the other level, let's say on a national level, because we are celebrating India's National Day, Day of Science and Technology today. It requires multiple institutions to make science happen on a national scale. And of course, there is the Ministry of Science and Technology, as it's called in some places. There's the Ministry for ICT. So there are many government institutions involved in making policy, in supporting academic institutions for research in specific areas that the country has identified as a key area that will enable the country to sustain its financial or economic status and to continue to make progress. So all these multiple ministries must come together if the science and technology component of a nation or of a university for that matter is to succeed. Now, the National Day, the National Science and Technology Day, is driven by multiple ministries. And one of the approaches is an integrated approach. So there's the integrated approach at the policy level, because if the different ministries that are responsible for science and technology do not have a shared vision, it will be difficult to move science and technology along in a meaningful way. Because at the end of the day, at the national level, science and technology, its achievements, its training, its practices are a part of the national policy. Because at the national level, monies are allocated to fund scientific and technological projects that contributes to the gross domestic product of the country, that contributes to the country's ability to export technology, hardware, in a way, and also to export or to earn revenues from its intellectual property. So integrating the ministries so that they have a shared view, a shared vision, a coherent policy is a very important thing. And I am happy that from all the articles I have read, that is part of what India's National Science and Technology Day is about. Integrating the different ministries and also integrating the different areas. So what that means, so on a national level, I see it as shared vision. I see it as unified policy. And it's a coming together of all science ministries and departments to work on theme-based approach to problem solving. So that is at the national level. Now let's look at the academic level. Because in my opinion, at the end of the day, when we celebrate science and technology, we are celebrating the academic institutions who have made that possible. Because if, in my opinion, if you look at those countries that are able to make progress scientifically, technologically, they have good academic institutions. There's a strong correlation between high technical achievement, high science and technical achievement to high quality of education. So I congratulate you for the work you are doing, the administrators in the universities, and I also congratulate you, the students, for being good students, being motivated enough to learn the rules of science. Now, at the educational level, change is always a big problem, but it is also something that is needed. Because one of the characteristics of modern science and technology is change. And as you well know, as a technological university, the programming skills that people use today or are needed today are not necessarily the same as they were 5 years ago, much less 10 years ago. The tools are different and they change constantly. So to celebrate science and technology as universities, we also have to think, what do we need to do how do we need to train our students for a sustainable future? Because the theme is integrated science and technology for a sustainable future. So as an academic institution, for us to arrive at a sustainable future, we must continue to change, because new competition in science and technology comes in, new methods come in, new knowledge is created, or maybe, well, it's created constantly, frequently. So new knowledge, not necessarily in the sense that something completely not heard of, because there's always this discussion or disagreements between, is there anything new anymore? Some technologists have determined that there is nothing new anymore and nobody can find anything new. There's this famous quote by the director of the United States' patent office, who said about 70 years ago that everything that needed to be known has already been known. There is nothing new. But of course, new technology has proven that assumption wrong. So we must always think about something new. As trainers of the next generation of technologists, those who are going to continue to move the envelope from the from the information age to the fourth industrial revolution, what do we need to do to sustain that technological lead or that technological advancement that India has been able to achieve? Now, sometimes we look at what we do in silos. I am teaching computer science. The only thing I need to know is computer science. I don't need to know anything else. There are those academics who have that point of view. I am an engineer. All I would do is my structural engineering or electrical engineering. I don't need to do anything else. So in my view, that is increasingly a very limiting view. It is true that you must specialize in something. If you are an electrical engineer, you must be good at electrical engineering to the best of your ability. But it doesn't exclude you knowing something about psychology. It should not exclude you from knowing something about philosophy or about medicine or about agriculture. Because at the end of the day, that scientific principles that you know, the technology you are passionate about, you want to do something with, it has to be applied in the real world to solve a real world problem. Whether it is in autonomous cars or in farm rovers that will help to improve agriculture, or in building a satellite that can help to monitor the atmosphere, or in building technology that will help transition us from fossil fuels that's damaging the environment to cleaner energy, wind energy, and other forms of energy. So, as we think about science and technology, and we think about integration, we think about integration from a national level where the ministries are integrated in terms of policy, in terms of a vision that in the next, India has achieved so much within the past 20 years, but the world is changing. Now we need to focus on these types of technologies for the future so we can train enough people in that area to be able to lead us into that direction. As we think of those things, we must think that also integration at that level, we must think at the academic level that the more we broaden the vision of our students who are in science and technology, the better we'll be able to adopt change, adapt to change, or also, in the words of Gandhi, be the change we want to see. So part of that interdisciplinary approach, in my opinion, requires universities to think differently and to incorporate change into thinking about change into what they do. Critical thinking is important because without critical thinking, you cannot solve big problems in science, in technology. Without critical thinking, you will not be able to, if not solve those problems, be able to use the techniques that others have already created and apply them in new areas so that you can come up with new ways of doing things. So as we celebrate India's National Science and Technology Day, as students, think about how you can use your technology skills to impact change, positive change. Your predecessors are already doing it. I already mentioned a couple of people, and that's just a handful of Indian scientists and technologists who are making big impacts worldwide. Now they have done their part. You will have to be the next big thing in science and in technology. And when you think along those paths, when you do that, now the sustainable future that is part of the theme for this celebration can be achieved. Now we are in the information age and we are moving to the fourth industrial revolution. What does that mean? It means planning. We know what the outlines of the fourth industrial revolution is. We'll have autonomous cars, we'll have super fast chips, 5G networks that will enable a lot of applications, be it home automation technology, be it robotic technology, be it space-based technology to provide services for earthlings, be it new systems in terms of renewable energy, advanced medicines, biomedicines, the ability to create chips and implant in people to help not tracking and for other reasons, because as we know, technology is a double-edged sword, but to provide medical help, assistance to people to prolong lives. So when we begin to think about a sustainable future, we have seen or we've heard what India has achieved at the beginning of this discussion. They must continue because most of those are modern technology. They are advanced technology. But today's advanced technologies must be improved and advanced using new techniques. So we talk about artificial intelligence. We talk about machine learning, right? The ability for a device to become smart. Of course, it will never have the brain of a human being or think like a human being, but it will provide additional conveniences that will improve the lives of people on a personal basis. It will provide competitive edge to a country seen that, we know that from the hunter-gatherers to the agrarian age, to the industrial age, information technology age, and now to the fourth industrial revolution. We see the pattern. We are not seers, We are not gods. We don't know what the future will be. But from extrapolation, we can see and we can be reasonably sure that the fourth industrial revolution is coming. Right? We all know what some of those technologies are: machine learning, artificial intelligence, right? Ability to use big data to make analysis, autonomous cars, remote medicine. So when we think about sustainable future, what are we going to be sustaining as part of this science and technology? Because a country cannot do everything scientifically and technologically. The country has to choose which areas it wants to excel in. And of course, India has done that well. China has done that well, because China decided to focus on manufacturing in the 70s, 80s, and it is the world's manufacturer today. India is the world's exporter of scientific talent. Lots of talent in India and lots of talent from India in the diaspora. So from an integrated point of view in terms of science and technology, from the policy area, which is the intergovernmental agencies that are responsible for developing science and technology in the country, to the university level, to the entrepreneurs. Because the integration, the way I saw it, I've read some Indian newspapers about it, the integration is more at the level of the ministries, which is good because the government sets the direction for the country. And with that kind of integration, the financial resources needed to move science and technology can be better managed, better focused and directed to key scientific and technological projects. We've also talked about the universities, the brains of it, because you can't just go to anyone and say, hey, come create this science, come create this technology for us. Without the proper training, they cannot. So we've talked about the ministries at the top and the universities and the academic institutions at the foundation. Now, in the middle are the entrepreneurs, those who take the skills from the universities to create solutions, private institutions that are pushing technology, designing new cars, designing new systems. These are the three, in my opinion, pillars in the scientific infrastructure. Because without these three, we are not going to be able to make progress. So when we think about the National Science and Technology Day, and we think about integration, we should think about integration either from the bottom up, from the university, from the schools, to the innovators, to the ministries, or a top-bottom approach from the ministries to the industrial base to the universities. So as we think about the future of science and technology, the bits, the bytes, the physical devices, the theories, the practices, we should also think about what we can do, how we can create new technologies in terms of institutions that are not academic or governmental. These three layers, or these three entities, must collaborate at a very high level in order to be able to provide sustainable future. Because the world is increasing in population, which means there could be problems there. The world is increasing in population, but the landmass is shrinking. And new problems crop up. We are all aware of coronavirus. It may change the world it has changed the world in a different way. Because before Corona, we never did Zoom much. There were means of communicating, but people still preferred face-to-face. But now with COVID-19, new ways has come up, new technologies, new tools. So in order for us to move to a sustainable future, and I'm not using the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, that is one way of looking at it. Another way from a science and technology point of view is for us to ask, what are the technologies of the future? How can we begin to incorporate them today into what we do? What is the new thinking, non-technological thinking? Because technology thinking is good, but we also need other areas of non-technology. So once you have that technology, what can you do with it? How can you use it for a personal competitive advantage, an institutional competitive advantage, or regional competitive advantage, or a national competitive advantage? So let us continue to think of new ways of moving into the fourth industrial revolution in terms of how we prepare our students. So I will end my speech here, but before I do, I would like to tell you that most technologists in the world are appreciative of Indian technology. They are aware of the achievements that you have made. And on my part, I would like you to give yourselves a big round of applause for your achievements. So please, this applause is for you, for all that you have achieved and for all that you will continue to achieve. I am sure in 5 years' time, that list that I read will be even more. And I look forward to knowing that some of you who have heard this, who participated in this celebration today, are part of the people who are moving India forward in the field of science and technology from this era into the fourth industrial era. I thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, sir, for all your wise and informative words. We hope that each and every single one present here is enlightened by you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Dear students, kindly give a great applause for him. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, staff members, and participants, we have had a very productive and inspiring time together. And this event is about to come to the very end. Now we all announce the winners and runners to the various competitions held on the 15th February. We invite Dr. Satyasilan sir to present the award for the winners and the runners.
Poster making, winner, lot number 11, R. Caleb Christo, 2nd BCA B. Runner, lot number 9, M. Prabha, 2nd BCA E. Debate, lot number 2 winner. Leon Thomas Francis A. I 1 BCA A. Runner, lot number 4, Anush Rangan, 2nd BCA B. Essay writing, lot number 8, winner Dinesh Kumar M, 2nd BCA C. Runner, lot number 4, J. Rahul, 2nd BCA E. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished chief guest, we expected you to give some token of words to the winner, sir.
Is it me or somebody else? Hello?
Sir, kindly.
Sorry, could you repeat?
So kindly, we need a token of appreciation for the winners and runners, sir.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, I continue to express my appreciation and admiration for Indian science and technology. And for those who won this award today, continue to carry the torch forward. I am aware that there are many who did not win, but you are not losers by any means at all. I know the competition is usually very tough. So those who won, congratulations. Those who did not win this time, continue on your dream. Continue to be determined. Next time, it will be your turn. So congratulations to you all, and I wish you a good day and good life and prosperity. I thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
And now, to end the day, we would like to leave with a quote by John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, who once said, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them." Let us all be guided by the things we have heard and learned throughout the event, and be able to see and work for a sustainable scientific future.
I would like to call upon Dr. Madhumati ma'am to deliver the vote of thanks.
The science of today is the technology of tomorrow. First of all, I would like to thank the God Almighty for His blessings on us that made this National Science Day run well without any hindrance. Our leader makes us people from where they are to where they are not been. Let me thank our beloved Principal Sir, Dr. D. Pal Dayabaran, for motivating and supporting us to conduct this National Science Day. Leadership is unlocking people's potential to become better. Special mention and thanks to my head of the department, Dr. James Manogaran Sir, in his absentia, for motivating and guiding us throughout the event. I express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Kupralan Sir for his ready acceptance. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. J.G.R. Satyasiran Sir for accepting the invitation and for felicitating the event, and for always being a pillar of support for our department faculty members as well as the students. Thank you, sir. Wisdom is knowing what to do next. Skill is knowing how to do it, and virtue is doing it. I express my sincere gratitude to our today's National Science Day resource person, Honorable Vice Chancellor of International University of East Africa, for signing in from Kampala, Uganda, and making this event a grand success, and for sharing his invaluable knowledge and thoughts about science and technology of our nation. Thank you, sir. I also extend my gratitude to Dr. P. Selva Ramalakshmi, Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology, International University of East Africa, Kampala, Uganda, for joining us and for making the arrangements from Uganda. Thank you.
Thank you.
Organizing secretary and the judges of the National Science Day competition held on 15 February 2022. Dr. M. Kasturi ma'am for being a judge for the poster making, and Dr. Kutralam sir for being the judge for the debate, and Betty ma'am, Ms. Betty, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Applications, for being acting as a judge for essay writing. Also a special appreciation to my student organizers, Shamim, Swati, Mona, Leo, Safari for making this invitation, Sara, Janadi, and Lokesh for always behind me and supporting from your side. Thank you, students. Last but not the least, I would like to congratulate the winners and the runners of the competitions, National Science Day competitions. As rightly said by a resource person, those are not yet received the prizes. It is the day for you. You just start from here. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all students. Thank you all staff.
Thank you, ma'am. And now I request the choir team to close the event with the national anthem.
May we all rise for a brief moment for the national anthem.
Thank you.
You may take a seat. Students, kindly remain silent. Thank you so much, sir. You may leave now. Thank you, sir.